after days of this intense movement, many people, including President Trump, are wondering who's supporting some of these rioters. Senior national correspondent William LaJeunesse is in Los Angeles with that aspect of the story. And look, William, if people just thought, oh, maybe that's imagination, there's video. There are receipts for this.
Yeah, I mean, the money's got to come from somewhere, right? I mean, sure, it's hard to turn out several thousand people on any given night. And so you're going to have water, the riot gear, the coordination to get out all these demonstrators. You have criminals, you have professional agitators, and activists who support a variety of left-wing issues, and they'll take any opportunity to bash the administration. So one group behind the demonstrations is CHIRLA, Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights. The IRS documents show $34 million in government grants, including 3 from President Biden's DHS for $750 grand. President Trump cut that off. It also gets state and city grants.
Hey man, where can I go to get these grants, man? I wouldn't mind having $750,000 grant in my bank account right now.
Grant money for lawyers to fight deportations. CHIRLA spends $10 million a year on salaries, including $200,000 for the director, Angelica Salas.
So we are asking that everybody that got arrested today be released. We want them with their children, with their families, with their children.
CHIRLA also founded the Rapid Response Network. That's the hotline immigrants use to report ICE raids. It will then text these alerts so immigrants can go hide and activists can stop ICE operations.
That should not be legal at all, especially coming from these activist groups or organizations, right? How are so many people in support of this? They're not talking about immigrant rights, they're not talking about immigrants who are already here legally, right? They're not talking about these people or their rights or, how to make things better for them. No, they're using this, they're using federal dollars. I'm sure they're getting other donations, but I mean, just in general, if they're getting $750,000, we're paying for that, right? That's coming out of our money if it's coming from Biden. That is our taxpayer dollars getting sent to these extreme organizations, right? So these activists can go out and do stuff like this and destroy the cities that we live in. Like, no, I'm not for that. Like, no, I honestly feel like there should be a list online, right? There should be a list online of all these organizations, these nonprofits, you feel me, that the federal government just decides they want to send money to. I feel like they should have it online, and we as Americans can decide whether or not we want to support that or not. Because I don't think it's okay for them to be giving, $750,000 a year? That's what, $2.5 million? No, $1.5 million? It was 75, that's 75. No, yeah, it's 100. My math is a little slow. Yeah, that's $1.5 million, right? And I don't think that taxpayers should be having to fund, organizations that are, for one, supporting illegal immigrants, right? So you're supporting illegal acts, and then you're allowing these people to be able to avoid the police. Like, no, I don't want my money going towards that. And I don't think any rational American would want their money to go towards funding and the release of people who are breaking the law, right?
And so I was in a room yesterday morning, meeting with the immigrant rights organizations, and all of a sudden everybody's cell phones started blowing up. That's when we all heard about a raid that was taking place in Whittier.
So another organizer is SEIU. You see the purple there. They have 700,000 members. The union turns out big numbers. Others are simply there to bash capitalism.
We are the real workers. The working class is the one that builds this country. Yet it's the billionaires in power that continue to harass us and attack us and take absolutely everything from us.
Bro, the only rich people I see that have a problem with this, well, I'm not even gonna say that. Look, man, there's obviously some rich people funding this. So I mean, y'all don't have too much problems with rich people, bro. But at the same time, I've never understood that. Why do they allow people to bash people who make money, right? So if I become a millionaire, right, from starting a business, am I a bad person now? Am I evil? Do I hate the working class? You feel me? Like, they put all these millionaires, all these billionaires, anybody who makes more money, right, or a lot of money, they put them all in this circle, right? And if you're a millionaire, if you're a billionaire, if you got a lot of money, right, you hate everyone, you don't stand for the working class anymore, you know, it's all about money for you. All you want to do is just take, and not give. And it's like, bro, like this whole mindset of feel bad for me and hate the rich, it's like, it's stupid. It's stupid. Instead of feeling bad and being the victim and blaming the rich for why, you know, for your issues, why not pick yourself up? Why not figure out how you can do things? And yeah, I mean, not everybody's going to be a millionaire, but I guarantee you, if you put hard work, dedication, and a lot of it into it, you can be pretty wealthy in America. Okay? It's not our fault that only a handful of people actually want to go up against it, or who can go up against it, you feel me, and actually come out pretty well off. You know, it's a lot. Okay? But I don't think blaming people who work their fucking asses off to get where they are for your problems, like, no, that's not okay. And then they have people come out here and look, like, they're like, oh, you know, like, you're arresting people and taking them. Like, no, listen. Again, why do we have to keep saying this, right? Y'all are saying, oh, well, these illegal immigrants are the backbone, right? They're the backbone of the working class people. You know, they bring in so much money. Your whole argument is destroyed, right, when you say they bring in money, they help support the communities, right? Okay, physically, they might come out. They might, you know, illegals might come out. You know, they might do things around the community. But as far as, like, putting money back into the community, the only time they're doing that is when they're going to the grocery store or Walmart to buy something, right? And that's if your country allows even state or local taxes, right? If you're in a state where the taxes are low, they're barely getting by anything, right? And if they're getting paid under the table because they can't be paid legally, then guess what? The money that they're supposed to be paying for taxes to go towards the cities aren't going anywhere. They're getting paid under the table, right? So they're getting paid cash. They're keeping that money. And most of the time, they're sending it back to their country of origin. Right, so you're not. So literally, they're coming here illegally, right? They're taking the money and they're sending it back to the country that they came from. Okay, I'm not saying a lot of them. I mean, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them do that. I've heard that. Like, I've literally heard it a lot of times, even in the military. They would join. I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Hey, join them. Yes, that's the perfect way to serve. And why don't y'all join the military? If y'all want to be here so damn bad, join the military. They will give you everything you're asking for now. All the rights, all of the food, the benefits, whatever you need. They will pay you monthly even. Go join the freaking army. We're low on people anyway. How about all these illegal immigrants, right? If y'all are so good and you want to be here so bad, right? And you don't want to have to go through the time, you know, of going through the immigration process, join our military. We need more people, right? Aren't we having like an issue with recruiting people? Come on, you have millions of people here right now. Send they have them join the military. They can. Y'all talking about that? You know, they do the jobs that nobody else want to do. They can do it in the military. They can be the best mechanics in the military. They can be the best nurses in the military. You feel me? Like they have sanitation stuff too. So if you need people out there building the showers for us, you know, for the people who go out there and training and just clean, bro, we got jobs for that. We got jobs for everything, bro. I'm telling you. Why don't y'all join the army if y'all want to be here so bad? Right? You love the country. You want to be patriotic. Serve it. Serve the country. Do a contract. Get your citizenship. Boom, you're here. I think that would be perfect. You know, but the sit there and blame everyone else like it's our problem. You feel me? Especially when we're not getting anything out of it, right? Because when people live here and they live in these houses, because you have states now that tried to pass laws, right, to where you don't need an ID, you don't need anything to be able to get assistance, right? So you can get food stamps, you can get public assistance, you can get all this stuff, right? If you're an immigrant, right? Whether you're illegal or not, you can get all these benefits, right? So you're sitting here taking all these benefits that us taxpayers have to pay for, right? So when our taxes go up and we're wondering why things are getting more expensive in our state, you feel me? And then you look into it and you realize the state has also added $2 billion into the budget to help support, illegal immigrants and their families, right? But none of them are paying into it. None of them. There's no Social Security, there's no Medicaid, there's no Medicare, there's no income tax, there's no state tax, there's no federal, there's nothing. They're not paying anything, right? So they're working these jobs, they're getting these benefits, you feel me? They're not putting any money back into it, you feel me? And yet you say they're contributing to society here. And the crazy thing is, I guarantee you most people who are here illegally go to work and go home. You feel me? They go to work, do the necessities, and they go home. You feel me? Most of them probably don't, they're not trying to get caught up in nothing. They're just trying to live their life and do what they need to do, right? And I'm fine, but you have to do it the right way. You're shitting on, when you do this, you're literally shitting on everyone else who worked their ass off, blood and tears, to make sure them and or their family got here the right way so they can live a better life.
Operation Healthy Hearts, according to the New York Post, handed out face shields and riot gear to protesters. Now, their kits include a lawyer's phone number to get out of jail, and some of these groups could face prosecution for aiding and abetting.
What? They're handing out riot gear to protesters. I've heard this too, and I'm gonna step back for a second, because when I first started hearing about paid protests, the paid protesters, I think Vivek was saying it, Vivek Ramaswamy and Donald Trump, they were saying it in the beginning, right? Like whenever the 2024 they were saying this during their campaign before the election, right? And I was hearing it so much, but it kept going over my head. I was like, you know what? Maybe this is just probably one of those like conspiracies, that every side has, I'm not afraid, to be like, okay, Republicans are probably like just talking out their asses right now, and that's what I thought. I honestly thought whenever they would bring up these paid actors or these paid protesters out here, I thought they were just talking out their ass. You feel me? Honestly, I thought that they were just like stunned that it was just so many people showing up to these, events or protests specifically, because to be honest, we've all seen events, as far as supporting your candidate, some were pretty big and some weren't big, but I feel like every time there's a protest, right, a major protest, there's violence, especially when the left side, the far left, Democratic leaning people, they get out there and they're doing all this extra shit, right? But you have people out there literally funding these protests, right? Paying people, right? And I'm not sure how true it is, but I damn sure believe it now, right? People offering hey, here's $100, here's $200 to come out and protest for this specific group. Because think about it. How are there this many people who's been protesting for a week straight? Who are these people? Do they work? Where are they coming from? You feel me? And a lot of them are wearing masks, so you don't even know how old they are. These could be high school kids wearing masks, is showing up. You feel me? These could be, anybody. It could be illegal immigrants showing up with masks, you feel me? And they know they can't just pull people over, you feel me? So you could show up with a mask on and be anybody. You feel me? So this is really starting to get weird, right? Because it's okay, there are actual, now there are, they're showing receipts, there's videos, you're literally looking at a video of them giving out riot gear to protesters. Like, who does that? Like, are y'all forgetting where y'all from? Like, you are in America. You are here, right? And you are sitting here supporting, and you're here, right? And you're being funded by American taxpayer dollars, right? And you're going out to these protests in support of illegal immigrants, right? Do you hear that? That makes no sense. And this is what I mean why we should be able to see where our taxpayer are going, and where our taxpayer money is going, and we should be able to agree as a whole, as a country, on whether or not we support these things. Because I damn sure don't support this. And I don't support any other group that's like this. How are you out there? Like, I'm fine with peaceful protests. I'm fine with people going out with, masks, whatever, signs, whatever you're doing. You feel me? You can yell, scream, say whatever you want to get your point across, right? Even if it doesn't make sense to me, right? You have the freedom of speech. But you have people who are assaulting people, fighting people, looting, setting things on fire. Okay, and it's not just like a small group of people, right? And then you have the media who's covering this stuff, and they're constantly calling it peaceful protests, right? So you get these ignorant people who don't know how to look up into stuff or do their own research, right? They go through their phone, they look on their computer for a second, and they see, oh, the news is saying this is a peaceful protest. Look at all the ICE agents arresting all these people, you feel me? And then you look into it and it's like, oh, well, this motherfucker was an illegal who threw a Molotov cocktail at a fucking sheriff. You feel me? Oh, the people that were arrested right? They were running away from the police, right? And it ended up being illegal. You feel me? Like, and the crazy thing is, like, people forget that they have a list of thousands of people, right, who have committed crimes or who have committed crimes in their home country, right? So there are already thousands upon thousands of people, right, that they already have faces and pictures of, or they already have pictures of, right, and names, right? So when they're out and they're looking and they're seeing these things, or even people calling in, right? There are people calling in actually too. You know, you have people calling in, you have people helping. You feel me? So I mean, like, is like these attacks aren't just random, right? Most of them are targeted. And it goes back to what I was saying before, right? If there's collateral damage, if they're just having to pee other illegals around, yeah, they're going to round them up too, okay? So it's like, what do you want? What do you want these people to do? Do you want them to do their jobs? Because right now it looks like these organizations that our money is supporting, right? These organizations are doing the exact opposite, right? And they're making this shit a lot harder. The media is making it a lot harder.
They might think they're making the community safer, but they're not. And we won't put up with that, and we're going to take criminal action against those type of organizations.
So the bottom line is, Harris, California is loaded with nonprofits that feed off taxpayer money. They can turn out a crowd in minutes, and we're seeing that here, now that coordination in other cities. Back to you.
Yeah, and that's the next part of all of this, too. I'm going to get to that because this is spreading, and it's happening so quickly. So how does it happen that they have so much in common as it moves? I'm glad you're on it, William. Great job. Thank you. The dangerous chaos is now on the East Coast. Officers arrested more than 80 people as thousands of them were flooding the streets of New York City. And a terrifying scene in Chicago. This is just not okay. A driver plowed a car through a crowd of hundreds of anti-ICE demonstrators, but there's law enforcement on the ground too. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has also announced that his state's National Guard is ready to be deployed around the state to curb whatever happens there, whatever of this mass protesting movement.
Are they burning the American flag? Do you know how disrespectful that is? I don't care if you're an American citizen or not. That is just so disrespectful, bro. So disrespectful. So disrespectful.
Agitation and in some cases, criminal violence pops up. In total, they rallied against ICE and the president in at least...
Won't see that shit here in South Carolina, though. Yo, that's wild. Exactly though, right? Man, look at this. You cannot tell me this stuff isn't coordinated. America is a big ass place. Don't let this map right here fool you. America, the U.S. is big, right? So how are there? You have Washington, California, Nevada, Colorado, Texas, Georgia, Milwaukee, or Illinois, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, or Philadelphia, D.C., New York, Massachusetts. Like, how do you have all these states, right, from the East Coast to the Midwest to the West Coast? All of them around the same thing, being funded by these activist groups, right, that are getting funded by our taxpayer dollars. You cannot tell me none of this stuff is coordinated. The craziest thing about all this, though, is this is going to go down in history. Watch. All this shit that y'all see going on right now, we going to be looking at this in the history books, bro. And I'm going to be telling my kids, like, man, like, look at this dumb stuff that we went through, right? It's like a 5-year... it's probably going to be, I don't know how long this stuff is going to last, but it's going to be the Biden and then here. And it's going to be like, bro, look at this. Not even. We can start from 2020. We can start from 2020, right? When Trump first said he was going to run for office, right? Or when he had ran for where he was president, right? 2020, right? And that's when everything, everyone was saying, he's Hitler, he's this, he's that, the world is going to fall. And I mean, I'm just saying, Biden era wasn't too damn, wasn't really good at all. You feel me? And Trump's back. You feel me? So I mean, like, obviously there's something going on. You feel me? With whoever is higher up and wanting to take Donald Trump out of all. Like, I mean, like, come on, man. Like, the stuff that's going on to these extremes, it just doesn't make sense. Someone powerful, someone with a lot of money, someone with a lot of pull does not want Donald Trump to be president. They don't want him in office, right? And you can tell by how many, like, look at all the stuff that he's been going through, right? You've had all these different presidents who have different ways that they feel, the U.S. should be run, right? And you go from, you'll have your Democrats, you'll have your Republicans, you'll have the Democrats and you'll have the Republicans, and like, you'll see them argue, you'll see the arguments, you'll see, like, the protests, people not agreeing with whatever the other side says. But this has been like a specific attack on Donald Trump, right? Everything that he does, everything has been turned, like, upside down. Everything. He says he wants to put requirements on Medicaid and Medicare, so people can stop. So they can stop the fraud and abuse that comes with that, right? He wants to do that, and you hear the media, the Democrats, everyone is, Donald Trump is taking away health care from people, like, you're not going to have Medicaid, millions of people are going to lose their Medicare, all these people who look up, who go to Medicaid to get these visits, like, they're going to be dying now because they can't afford their doctor visits, like, all this crazy stuff. You feel me? All this crazy stuff. And no matter how many times people come out and say, look, we're not cutting anything, we're just changing the requirements a little bit, right? So that there aren't as many people using the system that shouldn't be using it. Who the hell would disagree with that, right? Who would disagree with that? No one would disagree with that, which is why the left, you feel me, or these extremists are like, oh, well, all the millions of people are going to lose their jobs, or millions of people are going to lose their health care. Millions of people are going to die. Kids are going to lose their kids. It's like, bro, really? You feel me? So, I mean, like he's been getting attacked, like I said, from the beginning. You feel me? So I really do think that there is someone up there, you feel me, with a lot of power and a lot of money trying to get him out.
At least 15 cities from coast to coast. They don't like immigration picking up illegals. They're for the illegal aliens committing crimes. It's so confusing and dangerous. Republican Congressman Andy Biggs of the great state of Arizona, member of the House Oversight and Judiciary Committees, also a candidate for governor of Arizona. Great to see you today. So look, this is spreading. I don't know if you could hear William Lajeunesse, but it's got some things about it that would say maybe some of these people are getting some help. What's your idea, or what are you learning on that aspect of it?
Well, we're learning that this isn't really organic, that this is highly coordinated, that there's money that's behind this. Some of it is federal grant money or California state grant money even that has gone to these organizations. They've turned around and used it to go after and create this actual rioting, and this it's not protesting anymore. This is absolutely rioting.
So what legally can be done? I mean, it.
Oh, they got the horses out. Oh man, as sad as this shit is, man, I find it a bit funny, honestly, because I can't take anybody serious. You know, it's like you're like people in these riots, and I'm not talking about, you know, like people who are actually, you know, peacefully protesting. No, I'm talking about people who are doing this crazy stuff, bro. Like out here wilding. You feel me? Like I cannot. Like, how can you take yourself serious? You feel me? Like I can't take this stuff serious. You know, because again, it goes back to people are breaking the law. They're assaulting cops, right? They're doing all this illegal stuff in the name of illegal immigrants. So you think it's okay to destroy a city, right? To scare people, to assault people, to prove a point that illegal immigrants shouldn't be deported.
It seems like if they're going, it sounds like a misappropriation of funds. I'm sure it was never intended for this, that funding.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're using the grant money other than it was intended for sure, but you also have this notion of, are they getting people out and encouraging and fomenting the rioting? It looks like that maybe they are. And if they are, that would be aiding and abetting this kind of misconduct, which is criminal conduct, and aiding and abetting is also a criminal offense. There might even be,
oh, go ahead.
There might even be an opportunity to investigate them for conspiracy as well, because if they've organized this criminal enterprise, then that's conspiracy.
Okay, so those are serious crimes at this point. Just real quickly, a word on Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. I mean, he is so hyper-focused on the president of the United States. He had a loss.
Before we even talk about him, this dude is the weirdest guy in the world. This guy had he messed up the state of California, right? He did all this extreme stuff, you know. Then they had the fires, you feel me? And there wasn't no water, you feel me, to help. Like, it's like, bro, you ran California into the dirt, you feel me? And then you had the nerve to try to go center, right, where you wouldn't be related to these far left lunatics, right? And you interview, you know, these pro-conservative, you know, right-wing, you know, individuals, right, to show that you're in the middle, you know, like you're stepping away. And then you come out and support this shit. And then every time I see an interview of him supporting this, it looks like he's about to cry. It looks like he can't even like hold in the lies that he's spilling out. You feel me? It's like I don't get it. Like, I really don't. Like, something is truly wrong with that man. Like, yeah.
From this judge, what's your take on that situation? The rejection of, yeah, if the president wants to move in and do this, he'll make a ruling later this week, but he's not currently going to stop it.
Yeah, I think that the president's on good legal footing for this. I think Gavin Newsom, when he stands up and says this is only the beginning, this is going to begin in California, he didn't mean it the way he said it, but he's right. This is...
Look at him holding up the American flag upside down, but they're waving the Mexican. Like, I don't get it, bro. And the crazy thing about it, right, is like I keep saying Mexican, right, Hispanic, because those are the flags that I'm seeing, right? Those are the flags that I'm seeing. But there aren't the only people getting arrested. Like, Mexicans aren't the only ones getting deported, right? There are people from all over Honduras, Venezuela, you feel me? You have, there were Haitians, you feel me? Like, what else? I'm pretty sure they even had some Africans. They had some Korean, Chinese, you feel me? Like, you had a lot of people. I mean, they're obviously, Mexico is right there below us, you feel me? So you're going to have a larger group of illegal immigrants that are Hispanic, Mexican, right? You are. So, I mean, obviously, since they're going to be the largest of the minority, you know, it's going to look like they're being attacked the most, you know, but in reality, they're not. Right? But back to this. Like, it's disrespectful. How can, it's just this whole thing is just disrespectful. There are so many better ways to go about this than destroying cities, towns, hurting people, like.
Spreading, the rioting is spreading, and it is becoming a national issue. So the need to actually step in, because people like Gavin Newsom are not taking the action, Karen Bass, the mayor of LA, is not taking the action to protect their citizenry. And by the way, we have federal assets and federal personnel that are being threatened and attacked that they are not protecting. So I think President Trump's right to protect them.
Well, and look, you have the top-ranking member in the House for Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, saying, oh, well, let's have their identities. Why are they wearing masks? You know, let's know who all of the ICE agents and the law enforcement, endangering their lives. We already know they've been targeted.
Yeah, that's an incredibly reckless approach by the minority leader here. But just take a look at it. What do you see on the other side? You see the rioters, the people who are assaulting these officers. They always put on masks for anonymity. And the reason that our guys have to wear masks is because they're being doxxed, they're being attacked, their families are being threatened. Yes, for Hakeem to stand up and say that, incredibly dangerous, incredibly reckless.
Yeah. Yeah,
incredibly, right? You have people out here risking their lives, right? Their families, they're having their information put out online, you know, like you have people who are trying to do their jobs, you know, and protect people, and their lives are being put on the line. So of course they're going to be wearing masks. You feel me? They have kids, they have family members, husbands, wives, you know, like, yeah, they have people that care, and in order to keep them safe and their family safe, yes, they need to wear a mask. And if wearing a mask does that, then by all means, wear the fucking mask. Like, yeah, I think it's stupid. You have, like, and it's wild that you have these insane, like, politics, like, bro, like how are these people how are people still supporting these people? And when Hakeem Jeffries talk, bro, I swear to God, he talks like he doesn't even care. You feel me? Like, he talks like he really doesn't even care, and the shit pisses me off. Because you see all this stuff going on, right? And then you have the audacity to come out and be like, oh, well, why are these officers wearing masks, right? They should be wearing masks, right? We should get their information, right, and find out who they are, right? Like, come on, bro. Are you serious?
I mean, rocks, and we've seen cement bricks thrown at vehicles and all the like. So good to have you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harris.
Yeah, this is wild, man. I honestly just can't wait for all this stuff to boil down. I think tomorrow's Flag Day. Might give me a flag. America. Make sure you love someone. Make sure you love someone. Peace.